We are back. Gerald Celente from Trends Research. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. How are you?
Oh, a lot better than the world's markets are right now.
Boy, today is one to watch. First of all, over in Asia, the Nikkei index has been down over 2% each day since the new election happened on Sunday. So Abe got reelected, of course, and the markets are down 4%, over 4% in 2 days. And then during the morning sessions and going into the afternoon, the European markets were down, between 1.5% to 2.5%, and they closed up. And then the Dow was down. It was up over 100, up and down, and then it closed down 112 points. So the volatility levels here are they're quite extreme. You're seeing in Greece last week, last Tuesday, the market was down over 12%. Then you're seeing in Russia the same thing happening. Their markets are collapsing, as the ruble is. So there's a lot going on, and then of course the war drums keep beating louder and louder in the background. So this isn't a Christmas season of peace on earth.
It's anything but. The interesting thing is, and you wrote about this. I'd heard, Gerald, I couldn't believe my ears. Now, generally, Fox News, by the uninitiated and the unwashed out there, is kind of looked at as being the conservative place to go. Well, compared to MSNBC, I guess that would be the case, but that's the neocon network. But a couple of weeks ago, Gerald, I'm listening, and there's some babe, some talking head on there that says, well, look, some people might not have a lot of money for Christmas, but if you wait till the day before Christmas to go do your Christmas shopping, and she made some sort of sick joke that, well, you might be up all night wrapping presents, but you'll be able to get 70% off on stuff. And I was just flabbergasted that she had, she just had the cojones to say that. Now, you wrote a piece here on discounts and what do they mean? And slow spending is driving deep discounts. What's your take on this?
We launched first of all, we had a conference here a week ago Saturday, and we had about 70 people came. And you could get it online, by the way. You could buy it $50 for 5.5 hours of top trends for 2015. It's recorded, and a really high-quality job. And one of the trends that we launched was price wars. And, of course, we sent out the top trends for 2015 over a week ago. And that was one of our top trends. What's going on with the oil markets? People want to make a conspiracy about this. And, at first I thought, boy, they're punishing the Russians. And no, it's bigger than that. It's demand. And we've been on top of this since middle of June, when oil prices peaked at $115 a barrel, and then they started sharply declining. And, every evening as part of the subscription, weekdays we do Trends in the News, and we cover gold, oil, and the markets. And I'm saying this isn't right. We're going into the peak driving season, and oil prices are declining sharply. So, yes, there's a lot of supply out there, but demand is off. And it's not only off on oil, it's off on copper. It's off on corn. You could buy a ton of rebar, reinforcement rod, over in China cheaper than you could buy a ton of cabbage. There's so much extra product out there, and demand is falling off the cliff. Demand is down worldwide. There's between recessions and depressions and slowdowns. So when you keep putting it all together, there's way too much product out there, whether it's in the commodity line or finished product. So that woman was saying she's 100% right. price wars. That's one of our top trends for 2015. And we called this a while ago. You can see it adding up. Look at housing. You know, the numbers came out today on new housing for single family. It was up for multifamily because people can't afford to buy houses. And we're talking about they have not raised interest rates since 2006. And they can't prop up the failing markets. China, listen to this number. Over 70 million, that's right, 70 million luxury apartments are vacant. You have entire cities that are empty, that they built. It's the same kind of Ponzi scheme, different name with a Chinese accent on it. And the same thing going on in Europe. I mentioned, look, the Bundesbank came out. Oh, they downgraded their growth for Germany in the second quarter. One after another downgrade. I mentioned Greek markets going down over 12%. You look what's going on in Venezuela, Brazil. Add up what's going on around the world. Thailand. Name the country. It's either in depression, recession, or going over the edge. And at the same time, they're all lowering interest rates where they're in trouble in one way, or in Russia,
right.
They just increased the interest rate from 10.5% to 17% in one day to protect the ruble.
Oh, but the news stories today were, oh, geez, look, the ruble is collapsing in Russia against the dollar. That was the storyline they were putting out, and I know exactly why Vladimir Putin and the boys over there did that. It's the same damn thing that we did back in 1979, 1980 in this country. We jacked the interest rates up to 21% because inflation was going crazy.
And it's a war against Russia. Sanctions are an act of war. Why doesn't anybody call it what it is? They're all afraid. We declared war against Russia. And the sanctions are hurting them. And Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, who you well know, former Assistant Treasury Secretary under Reagan, I just got off the phone with him not more than a half hour ago. He's writing the piece now at TrendsJournal on the grand manipulation, how the markets are so manipulated. And we were talking about this. This is an act of war. And he's wondering who's behind taking down the ruble. Is it George Soros? He did it. Look what he did to the pound. And or he said, is it the government? And I said, Dr. Roberts, I said, Soros is the government. It's a takeover. Because that's one of our other trends, bankism. It's a total takeover. Nomi Prinz, by the way, wrote that one. And she, of course, is the woman that wrote that great book, All the President's Bankers. So Dr. Paul Craig Roberts is asking, is this thing being manipulated? Because everything else is manipulated. We know the LIBOR rate, the interest rates are manipulated. That's not conspiracy. It's a fact. We know the Forex markets are rigged. That's the currency markets traded at $5.3 trillion a day. That's rigged, not a conspiracy theory, a fact. The only difference is that those criminals don't go to jail. Only we do. They punish the powerless, and the powerful get a free ride. So when you're putting all these things together, 2015 is shaping up to be a real game changer. I mean, this thing is, if this keeps going, what is it, 8 shopping days left at Christmas? And you have all this market volatility? This thing, we saw what happened with Black Friday. Retail sales were down 11% rather than going up 4.1%. Yeah, they made some of it up on the Internet, but not enough. If this thing keeps going, you're going to see the bottom fall out of retail.
Well, and Vladimir Putin's deal was that he had NATO parked all around his country, and he did not want this. But the difference now is that we're looking at the European Union, and that is falling apart rapidly. And deals have been done. Oil deals have been done from Russia. Pipelines are going in for gas. They're doing what they have to do over in Russia to survive. And it wasn't. This whole thing with Kiev and the government there, puppet of the United States. Vladimir Putin saw through this. He does not want to tangle with the United States. He does not want to create World War III. What he wants to do is try to patch the economy up from the world's bankster gangsters that they have wrought in every established and every economy on this planet, Gerald. He's trying to survive, and he's trying to take care of his own people in Russia, and the only thing we want to do is keep prompting war. Let's take this break. Gerald Celente is my guest. We've got him for another segment here. TrendsResearch.com is the website, and his endeavors particularly is TrendsJournal. We'll be right back.
Must come down.
Earthquakes, hurricanes, nuclear accidents, terror attacks, and all-out social collapse. With the world today more volatile than ever, the future has never looked more uncertain. Survivalist magazine is the one resource you can't afford to be without. Claim your free trial subscription now at www.survivalist.com, and your first issue ships immediately. Get all the details and more at www.survivalist.com or order by phone. Call 1-866-437-6570. Your survival may depend on it.
Americans are reeling from Obamacare, higher prices, and an epidemic of policy lapses. AsiaRunLikeHellGuide.com has you covered. World-class medical and surgery at one of Asia's most modern hospitals. 300 doctors, surgeons, and dentists serving 300,000 patients a year. Fractions of U.S. prices. Friends or family forced to go out of pocket? Avoid bankruptcy. Tell them to run. Run like hell. Hit us up now. We'll show you how. AsiaRunLikeHellGuide.com.
The IRS is a private corporation, not a government agency. Income tax is collected by voluntary compliance. To learn to unvolunteer or discontinue volunteering into the IRS, visit escapeharassment.com and immediately implement Strategy 1. The process must be repeated each and every time. Paper, letter, envelope, presentment, etc. Always and forever. Failure equates to acceptance, subsequent resultant contract, and you pay or go to jail by your own consent and agreement contract. Avoid recontracting. Visit escapeharassment.com and implement Strategy 1 immediately. Bar lawyers and accountants won't help you. Why wait? Get Strategy 1 and immediately implement it to divorce the IRS today and forever. That's escapeharassment.com, Strategy 1, to be free from the IRS. escapeharassment.com.
Herbal Healer Academy presents its spring specials. All sizes of our 500 parts per million colloidal silver are on sale, along with products to help you lose weight, like apple cider vinegar, Hoodia, Metabolic Complex, and Pro Metabolic. That's not all. Anti-Parasite Intestinal Freedom, Wormwood Plus Complex, Stevia Liquid Sweetener, and the Super Enzymes are on sale. Visit herbalhealer.com to order yours. Request our free 128-page catalog. Healing the world with nature, one person at a time. herbalhealer.com.
Now there's an amazing new natural antibiotic every person must have. It's Cells Alive Silver Solution, and it destroys over 650 hard-to-kill viruses, fungus, bacteria, and much more. Cells Alive Silver Solution has no expiration date, is great for emergency kits and storage shelters, and comes in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. Order today at 888-910-4367 or visit hempusa.org. Hempusa.org, 100% chemical-free superfoods and unique health products.
There are many water filters to choose from, but there is only one system that is consistently customer rated 5 stars as the #1 system for effective filtration of fluoride, radiation, drug residues, heavy metals, a wide range of radioisotopes, and more. Introducing the Pure Effect Ultra, the next generation water filter that also raises alkaline pH, improves antioxidant potential, and has advanced anti-radiation technology, all while using no electricity. Sold worldwide, it provides virtually instant clean water on demand. It is not made in China, and the shipping is free to all 50 states. Buy your